I'm Kitsune. I'm a Mercy hater.
I'm Mighty Mecha, and I'm a Mercy hater.
I am Master French, and I am a Mercy hater.
I'm Athena, and I'm a Mercy hater.
I'm Flare Toga, and I'm a Mercy hater.
I'm Wambulance, and I am a Mercy hater.
Before we hop into the video, I just want to let you guys know that you could sign up for these game shows or any other game show I do by joining my Discord server. I also host all of these game shows live on my Twitch, in addition to also streaming ranked and even playing other games sometimes too. I'd love to see you at my Twitch stream sometimes, so come on over and say hi. Anyways, enjoy the video and feel free to play along in the comments section.
What's the main reason you all and me hate Mercy? Well, I'll say I hate Mercy because I think she is probably the hardest hero to balance around, particularly for damage boosts, and I think it can break the game to a point where she's either overpowered or underpowered, and it's just not fun to play with her or against her, depending on the situation of damage boost.
I hate Mercy players because it feels like most of them just tend to over-obsess about Mercy, and the character itself, I just feel like, I agree on a lot of points Wambulance said, where it's just hard to balance around the character, especially with a powerful res ability.
I hate Mercy because for a lot of reasons. I think that her entire kit, not just damage boost, but res, and even the way she heals as a very singular target heal character is extremely hard to make it feel right for everybody involved, the enemy, the player, and the teammates. I think that res is honestly one of the most unhealthy abilities in the game, and I would rather have an ability that would keep me alive and also be more interactive to the enemies with counterplay rather than just resurrection. And Mercy players can sometimes be very unwilling to take criticism.
I very much so dislike Mercy, mostly for all the changes that she's been through. I thought she was much better on launch. Sorry, I'm one of the original Overwatch players. I liked 5-man res much better. Like the damage boost changes that have come through, especially when she Valks, just the entire team gets a huge buff. A lot of the Guardian Angel changes I dislike as well. There's just so much movement. She's such a good hero to pick. And especially in low ranks. Higher ranks, it's a lot less. We mostly just pick her for her damage boost, and then something like a Sojin or an Ashe runs away with the game.
The main thing I would like to say that I have an issue with is mainly her damage boost. Mainly because there's been an influx in the, well, quote-unquote pocketing type of play style that it almost makes it impossible to win a game if there's anybody in a higher rank that has a Mercy pocket on them. So especially with damage boost getting buffed, I think it really hurts my matches, and I don't like it.
I like winning my ranked games. I only play ranked, and I'm high rank, and Mercy's just not a good character. So I just don't want one on my team, and I love to go against them, and I just avoid them because I just go Tracer or something, or there's a lot more flexible players that can swap, and Mercy just as a hero is very niche, and damage boost can be annoying, but in most cases you can just realize the fact that they're lacking a lot of utility outside of they don't have a Suzu or a good ultimate to turn fights. It's just not fun to play with, and it's just hard to win when they're on a fast-paced comp or on a lot of maps.
If we're all Mercy players and we all have our own unique roles, what interaction between your role and Mercy do you not like when she is on your team? So I'll start first again. I'm a flex support player, and I find myself having to really either play Kiriko or someone with a lot more AoE or burst healing when I'm with a Mercy, and sometimes that makes me feel uncomfortable when I am more comfortable on someone like Ana or Baptiste, but because I have a Mercy, I have to play someone like Kiriko.
I hate when Mercy's just pocket me. I get you want to damage boost me because I'm on a tank, but it really doesn't feel good when our DPS is critical health and you're too busy damage boosting me instead of healing them, and it happens way more than you think.
I personally play Venture and Lucio for DPS and support respectively, and on Lucio, you know, most people would think that you would not want to have a Lucio and a Mercy together for a multitude of reasons. A lack of general survivability on a lot of fronts, and healing output in general isn't great either. And it honestly doesn't feel good to play with a Mercy as a Lucio just for playstyle reasons. And on Venture, Mercy is sort of like a half and half. When I'm underground, she can't target me, which is totally fine. And it is more so, I would prefer literally any other support to be with me, other than maybe a Brigitte or Zenyatta.
Time is up.
I voted Master French because when they spoke about like things they dislike about Mercy, they talked a lot about like the names of the abilities, and like I feel like most people will just complain about like damage boost and like I don't know how annoying she is to kill, but I don't know if that's literally why. Like they use like the word Guardian Angel and stuff.
I voted for Kitsune mainly because out of everybody's answer, I don't know, I just felt like theirs was the most basic, I guess. I don't know, I didn't really have anybody else to pick, so it was kind of just a random shot in the dark.
I voted for Mighty Mecha, mostly because the answer to the first question was so vague and unspecific. It just felt like they were making up the answer as they went along. So purely not like intuition. I guess it just feels wrong.
I voted for Kitsune mainly on the mentions of certain maps and stuff, which I don't really think revolves around Mercy as a hero being poorly designed. I think maps aren't an important vision in that discussion, but that's a small reason.
I voted for Mighty Mecha, mainly the same reasons as Master French, but I also got just a vibe that something was off.
I voted Mighty Mecha as well. I'm between two people right now, and I just think Mighty Mecha is the more suspicious out of the two, and that's why I voted for them.
All right, Mighty Mecha, take one step forward. You have been eliminated. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, not really.
I would like to ask if you've ever really played Mercy yourself, and what you think from actually playing her, if you for more than like a few matches, like an actual extensive amount of time, just to see how she feels, how she plays, and get a perspective from, or get an opinion from the perspective of a Mercy. And I'll start. I haven't played a lot of Mercy, but I can see why people play her and why a lot of people play her and have fun with her, because she is a fun hero in a lot of certain circumstances with mobility.
As the resident support player here, I have played my fair share of Mercy, especially in comp. When I play her, I just find sometimes there is quite literally nothing I can do than watch my DPS sit main and just get headshot by a Hanzo or a Widow because they try to peek them from 50 meters. And it really does annoy me, which is why I hate playing her. And then, it's someone like Ana who has nades and sleep darts has more impact on the game than me playing Mercy.
I played Mercy, and she's fun to play, like Athena said, but I feel like her res is too impactful, and her Guardian Angel is just way too quick, and she's way too movement heavy to be, I don't know, in the game.
My experience with playing Mercy has been this odd dichotomy of I either win my matches because I'm jumping up and down, flying around, doing all this fancy movement stuff, and the DPS just can't kill me, or I instantly get focused down every single time. And it's either win very much, very strongly, very good, or it's lose very terribly.
I can't lie, Mercy's like really chill to play. Like I enjoy playing Mercy. Like she's fun. It's like, again, like I like to win my games, and like going back to what I said, like some maps, like if I just pick Mercy on Lijiang Control Center, like my team will probably just throw, like, or like be very upset right out of the spawn door, and it's just like you're gonna be against like some sort of Lucio comp, and it's just really like that. It's also just not fun like to play and to lose, because like they're just gonna speed amp into you, and you just like can't like play slow and actually like pocket anything.
So we all have the general consensus that we don't like Mercy, and her kit. I want to start with Kitsune. How would you rework or redistribute Mercy's numbers, particularly for, let's say, damage boost?
Tough without like completely changing the hero. If you look at like a lot of comps played, like they can just contribute a lot in terms of like utility. Like all Mercy does is like damage boost and res, and like I think res as a concept is just a lame ability. Like I'd rather have something like Suzu or Lamp that prevents me from dying than die. Like I feel like the entire ability caters around making a mistake. Like you died, you made a mistake, like you were overextended, or like you didn't like position properly. Like I'd rather have something that just prevents me from dying than something that like fixes the mistake. Also, like some reses sometimes are just like you physically can't even stop them. Like there's just no counterplay. Like if a Mercy flies in and gets bubbled or Suzu'd or lamped, like there's also just sometimes like a res goes off and like because like most time you can just kill the Mercy, but like sometimes you just can't, and like they could even be in your entire team. Or like annoying ones are like sniper maps. If there's a Mercy, like the character's not great, but it is really annoying, like killing their Widow and then she just comes back immediately. Like the Widow just lost a duel and she's like, give it a second chance. Like I don't know, it's a weird character. If you like remove thing, like they would have to like completely change her for her to like become viable. Like I don't think there's ever going to be an instance where she's going to be like insane, or like I would not mind her, but like in ranked, like she's chill sometimes. Like I don't know, it's weird. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Time is up. All right.
Guys, I took up the entire time. My bad. I voted for Athena. Okay, Loki, I can't fully remember. Like, they said something earlier, and I was like, oh, I'm voting for them. I don't care what anyone else says. But I genuinely can't remember. I think it was something about, like, a response to what I said. I just felt was weird.
I voted for Wambulance, mostly because I didn't necessarily think that anybody in particular was saying things that made them look like a Mercy player. The reasoning behind voting is he's been taking control of the entire conversation for most of our little game here, and it just strikes me as something that I think like somebody who would want to get everyone's opinions, everyone's questions, and it's sort of like controlling the narrative, trying to twist it into your way, if that makes sense.
I voted for Flare Toga because the point she made felt like it was sort of piggybacking off of sort of something I said fully. I can't fully remember either.
I voted for Kitsune because, honestly, I don't really know why.
I voted for Athena. I'm still between two people, but I'm thinking of what Athena said, and I think particularly at this stage of the game, saying that you are a hard Venture main is a little suspicious, especially when talking between interactions with Venture and Mercy. I think that it's just a little too early in Venture's life to kind of being as opinionated as you are on that team dynamic.
All right, Athena, take a step forward. You have been eliminated. You have anything you have to say?
No.
All right, get out of here. If you believe that you have voted out the imposter and you would like to end the game now, go ahead and take a step forward. All right, cool. We'll keep playing.
I think being here, we can all say something along the lines of, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Tell me what you actually love about playing with or against a Mercy. Personally, I love playing against a Mercy because it's like you're playing against 4.5 people rather than a complete another person. Mercy doesn't actually project any power when it comes to damage numbers or anything like that. A Mercy's almost never going to kill you. You do have one less person to worry about on the battle.
Okay, sounds extremely stupid. I like her movement. I'm a big fan of Mercy parkour, and I think her movement is very fun. And that sounds a little ironic as the Ana player, but I do quite enjoy her movement.
Something that I love about Mercy is I'd probably say her ult. I feel like it's just a really well-designed ult. I think also when she's alone, it's really easy to pick her off. It's not like an Ana where you struggle sometimes and can easily die to them.
One thing cool about like playing with the Mercy, obviously, like I'm a DPS player. I will like usually go hit scan unless like someone else already locked like Ash or something. So like one thing like chill about it is it's like, you know, I press tab and I have like way more damage than their other DPS. You know, I get my ult quicker. Like it's easier to take duels like with their DPS because their supports have to like turn around and like react, and sometimes they're just not healed and it's just a free kill. You know, I have like a support literally like glued to me, only looking at me. So like, yeah, like that's chill sometimes. Like just being able to like easily gap my counterpart or like just shit on the entire like lobby. Because like especially, I don't know, in like lobbies that are less like serious, like Mercy just dominates. If you play hitscan, you can just dominate the world. So that's like fun sometimes because I'm the one in the kill feed.
I kind of want to transition what Master French said. So you just said what we love about Mercy. Let's get a little silly here. What's everybody's hottest take on this on Mercy? I will say that I personally preferred ult res because I think the ult res actually, I mean, of course, if it came back, it needs some reworks, but ult res actually gave Mercy a more of a level of skill expression than Valkyrie does, in my opinion.
My hot take is that Soul Burst from the Mirror Watch game mode was a better ability than Res. It finally gets Mercy's damage stat up, and two, I feel like it's way more clever because you have to actively avoid the souls, and having them visible to everyone is really cool. And I feel like being able to actually get some value instead of just flying everywhere, just healing and damage boosting is much better.
My Mercy hot take is to remove damage boost. There's a reason why the developers are messing around with health pools and damage values of specific heroes and everything, and it's because they're designed to specifically have thresholds where certain characters aren't supposed to 2-shot or 3-shot or 1-shot other characters, and removing damage boost, putting something in its place, maybe like a quicker sort of firing for some characters, or maybe a faster reload if you're talking like Hanzo or something like that. But I just think damage boost in of itself is such a terrible ability for the health of the game.
I don't know, I just think the character's bad. I don't really like, please add hero ban so I could just ban Mercy on New Junk City. Like, I don't want that character. Like, the character's not good. I
can't help but say how much I agree with what you said, Master French. I think damage boost abilities should be limited to only ultimates. Geno's ult, Baptiste ult, Ana ult. I think damage boost is too much of a broken mechanic to just be on a character's primary. Especially as a character like Mercy, who I think it's like, what, 20% right now? 20, 25? It causes so many issues in the game. Thank you. 30%. I remember back in Overwatch 1, when I was watching Overwatch League Season 3, I remember this one play by the Florida Mayhem on Numbani by BQB, where he proceeds to go on a flank and one-tap 3 people on the enemy team. And I think that breakpoint was utter BS at that time, and I'm still surprised that damage boost is as high as it is on a regular ability.
I think we should take a step away from Mercy and say, you guys have selected your heroes. We were told to kind of like select our mains. So what do you like about playing the character that you have selected, Orisa, Ana, and Widowmaker? For me, I mostly played Mei back in Overwatch 1, and I would play her as an off-tank. I did not play her as ambush, like Icicle, whatever. I mostly fired like Hanamura. I remember a game I had so much fun on second point, just clicking heads from halfway across the map. Or, I guess through that little choke point, not halfway across the map.
Time is up.
I voted Master French. For me, it was between Master French and Wambulance. Like, Wambulance said that they like Mercy movement and play in Mercy parkour, and they want old res back. Like, I just don't know a Mercy like someone that doesn't play Mercy that plays Mercy parkour and wants res back. But then they said they like watch like matches, and like I don't see a Mercy player caring enough to watch like pro matches. So like based on like what Master French has said, like I feel like it's less likely to be Flare Toga. and more likely to be Master French.
I voted for Kitsune mostly for the same reason I voted round 1 Mighty. I felt like a lot of the answers were either exactly what you would want to hear as a DPS player, or something you'd expect somebody who hates Mercy to say. It just felt generic to me.
I agree with a lot of the same points as Master French, where the explanation for what you'd do to change Mercy was way too broad and didn't really answer the question. It was just a kind of get out of jail free card answer for the question.
Kitsune said about hero bans, I find their story of being a high level player much more believable compared to what Master French was saying.
So it's between Kitsune and Master French. So in the event of a tie, we're going to have you guys take about 20 seconds each to plead your case. So Kitsune, you could go first. You could take a step forward. And I'm going to give you 20 seconds. And you're just going to tell people why they should not vote you out, starting now.
I mean, yeah, I'm a DPS player. Like, obviously my take's going to be DPS orientated. And like about like the balance changes, like there is no number you can tweak on Mercy that will just make her better than like the things other supports can do. Like there's not, like I don't know, you can't just tweak like a cooldown or a number that will make Mercy better. So like that's why my answer is kind of like bland.
So, you guys think I have Mercy vibes about me. Well, that might be the case because way back when Overwatch 1 was a thing, I was a flex player. I was not any particular sort of role. So I played damage, I played support, I played tank, I played it all. Mostly played Orisa and Roadhog on tank, and Ana.
Time is up. All right. So we're going to do a revote now. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, what?
All right. We'll just go another round. All right. Next round.
I really don't know what to say other than I'm not the Mercy. Honest to whatever you believe in, I guess.
Okay, how about everyone talk about like obviously we all picked our heroes, so people should just break down like how their hero works, like on a level that would be more impressive that a Mercy would fully be able to understand, like aspects of your kit that you enjoy using on certain maps, or like synergy you can like, you know, things you think about on your character, or like experiences that you developed over time maybe. So like as hit scan and stuff, like angle control is like really important, and when you have a Mercy you're just stacked, like you have two people stacked on one angle. But when you have like a champ like Lucio, or you have like other compositions, there's utility that they can provide where you're not stacking. So like if you look at Lucio carry comps, like your Lucio can mark tracer and your Lucio can do other things while still providing support, and has a utility ultimate, like a defensive ultimate. And speed boost is just insane for like controlling the tempo of the game, right? You can like kite ultimates with speed boost. Mercy just dies. Like if they use Kiri Rush, like you just run down a Mercy, the Mercy's dead. It can just fly to teammates. But you can just speed amp away from ults. You can like engage on Mercy with speed boost if we're like going to that. Or like, I don't know, like Mercy just stacks angles, and it just puts a lot of resources into one thing that they can look at.
Keep in mind, I am a plat diamond player when I make these gameplay takes on Ana. So my favorite thing for the damage changes with Ana and the health changes was I could more confidently 1v1 tracers doing 75 damage on a 150 HP target. I could two-shot her, I could shoot, sleep, I could sleep, shoot, nade, melee combo, one-shot tracers, back in the ye old days. But now I find that using nades on like really weird angles is how I find the most value with her. You know, there's some times where I might just look up an MO7 VOD on a map and just find that nade angle and just do it real quickly, because those content creators tend to have the most goober strats ever that sometimes work in my rank.
For Orisa, I just like how she's a very kind of simple character to play with really big abilities. She has a Fortify, which can get out of lots of ults like Zarya Grab, Mauga Cage, Sigma Grab, and you can eat stuff with your Javelin spin, and you can stun enemies, especially during ults with Javelin. It feels like a really overpowered kit for a very simple hero, and I just like having all that power, while the only thing I need to manage is not spamming all my abilities at once and not holding left click too long.
When it comes to Mei, most of what I enjoy doing is just cutting people off from the enemy team. You put a wall, you get to control essentially how the battlefield is shaped. Not only can it be used defensively, but you can also use it offensively. So most people, defensive walls are things to block shatters, block ultimates, just block damage in general. You do the same thing with ice block. Most people think ice block, you're supposed to sit in it and heal damage that has been done to you, but it's actually inoptimal and incorrect to play that way. You are supposed to use it to block damage, much like wall. Wall
is
more
up.
specifically.
I voted Master French because I was in between the two. I feel like Master French like talks a lot more, but like they could just genuinely believe like it's me because I know they've been voting me. But like after Flare Toga like hasn't said much, and they're like also trying to get me out, which would make sense. Like if they're in the imposter, they're just gonna like follow whoever else is like voting someone, and they're like vocal about it. So they're like, you know, hidden behind. They're not the one pointing the finger, but they're like going with them. But the thing about Mauga Cage with Fortify like basically sold me on the fact that it's not them, because like even in top 500, like just last week I saw like someone play Orisa to Mauga, and the Mauga like was surprised about Fortify. Like players don't know about that. So like assuming like no flame, no offense, but assuming like you guys are like lower elo, the fact that you know about that like makes me think that you actually play Orisa. And you mentioned the cooldown thing. Like cooldown management is like the biggest thing with Orisa. Like in Orisa that just blows her cooldowns is really, really killable. Like that character is really hard to kill, but cooldown management is like really big about it. So that's why I voted for Master French. And also like their description of Mei is just like describing the abilities.
I voted for Kitsune. I believe the question was, what is your hero and why is it like, why do you enjoy playing it? And then he immediately went into very vague, like, this is how DPS plays. And it was just a very right turn from the question at hand. And I took it as a sign that maybe he didn't actually know some things about DPS. Oh, also, he threw in some shade at DPS, or Mercy players, when none of us before have done that. And while, yes, I don't like Mercy, I haven't been throwing shade at her.
I voted for Kitsune because I feel like, again, their answer was very generic and kind of bland. It felt like a more general DPS answer than more specifically how it affects or how they play Widow.
I voted for Flare Toga. I kind of feel bad for voting for them now, after what Kitsune just said. I'll be honest, I didn't know about the Fortify Mauga Cage interaction, and so I thought it was the opposite, where Orisa just stays in Cage, and also the Orisa talk spiel you gave was very bland and very basic in my opinion. As someone who does play a little bit of tank here and there, I think what you said about Orisa could have been more embellished.
All right, Kitsune, take a step forward. You have been eliminated. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I mean, I'm not like a Widow one trick. Widow's just like my best champ. So when I talked about DPS, I play like all DPS. Like I'm not a one trick. So like I just correlated it to like that. Like I'm just a DPS player. I feel like a lot of these things are talking about like a typical DPS answer. Like I might just be a DPS player.
All right.
Bye.
Cool. All right. For the 3 people left, if you believe that you have voted out the imposter and you would like to end the game now, go ahead and take 1 step forward. Wow, we're gonna keep going. Okay. All right, get back in line, Flare. Round million starts now. Go.
On the count of 3, I want just all of us to put your first spray down. Just put it down. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright, that's just a test to see if someone's lying about their hero, because usually would have like the Overwatch spray. I am genuinely thinking that the imposter's still here. I know it's not me, and I have reasons to believe that it's not either of you, but there's also reasons I can believe that it's one of you two. Master French, who do you think the imposter is, since you also stayed?
It's a toss-up, really. And it's for different reasons. You're just so knowledgeable about the game in general that I can almost believe it being you in a sense of like you studied up, because that's what I did. I like studied up a bit and learned some numbers and stuff, and I especially studied like Mercy stuff to, well, try to catch the Mercy on like, oh, the damage numbers are 25, and it's like, no, that was actually changed this most recent patch to 30% or something like that. I didn't actually end up doing any of that, but I'm ADHD, it's whatever. And when it comes to Flare Toga, I feel like he's just so passive, you know? It's like it almost they almost don't want to put themselves forward to like give off any sort of like hints or clues as to they could be. Like that's what I'm thinking about.
I think honestly that's a reasonable reason to suspect me. I'm just nervous. But I think we already got them out. I feel like it really is kind of just a 50-50 chance right now, and I think both of you are definitely not the Mercy player.
It's an insecurity that this game brings that I think one of you is lying still, and I don't know what
Watch
to
us
ask.
like have voted out the Mercy in the first round, and we've all been paranoid. Just...
Okay, I think right now, I think it's most likely Flare Toga. I was originally suspicious of you, Master French. Especially in the beginning of the round, I voted for you a few times. I was just unsure given your answers given, but I think the more you've talked, the more I've kind of agreed with you on the takes that I think a Mercy hater, Mercy main probably wouldn't have made, because usually these takes, especially of a player with who knows a little bit about the game, are more developed on what they don't like about Mercy rather than what they do like about Mercy. And then Flare Toga, it goes back to how you explained Orisa. I think it's too basic. I think it's like you played a few games in Orisa and said, yeah, that's good enough for me to go into Impostor Watch. And it's just, I'm not convinced fully that you're a Mercy hater. Can you give me like anything you have that tells me you're a Mercy hater? It's curse on a Mercy or something. I don't know.
Mercy Mafia, I don't want my family back. I don't know. I really got nothing.
Who are you gonna vote for when this round ends, Master French?
You.
Flare Toga?
I got no clue.
Okay, well, I guess we can move on to the voting round.
I'm so nervous.
We're gonna have you type out who you would like to vote for. 3, 2, 1, send. You can't not vote for no one. It doesn't work like that. Go again. Well, everybody has one vote then. In the event of a tie, would you like to re-vote or keep playing?
Revote.
I say we end it.
You can't end it.
I
You don't have the
think-
option to end it right now. It's either you
I think
re-vote or
we
you keep playing.
Revote. I'm voting for Flare Toga again.
All right. Next vote. 3, 2, 1, go. Jesus Christ, we're not getting anywhere with this. I'm just gonna call it. I'm ending it. The 3 people that were left, you guys seemed really unsure. Do you guys think the imposter's out, or you still have your doubts?
I have my doubts, but I think the imposter's out.
All right.
I think they're out.
If the dome turns green, that means that you have successfully voted the imposter out. If the dome turns red, that means that the imposter is still amongst you and you guys lost. 3, 2, 1. All right, you did it. So you guys went through all those rounds for nothing. Who is the imposter? It was
I knew
Wow.
it.
another fucking game of imposter. What's with imposter? Hello, Kitty. We're gonna interview you first. So, hi.
Hello.
You were the imposter. So first of all, I just want to touch
was.
on the fact that you use streamer mode for this. Do you wanna kind of tell us why?
So, my initial thoughts when I first started, my name is Hello Kitty. I play with a lot of Mercy players where they have like princess or like kitty or like, you know, they have like some sort of like feminine or girly pop type name. So I just was like, oh, if I come here and my name is Hello Kitty, people are probably gonna like think it's me.
You got voted out the first round. Rip. What were your thoughts on that? Do you think it was justified getting voted out?
No. Okay, so the first part, I heard. So somebody's reasoning for voting me out was that I used the word guardian angel. I don't know. I was telling the truth though. There are some problems I have with the pocketing slash damage boosting play style. That part wasn't a lie, and I didn't really say anything else because I was like, oh, well, everybody's talking about everything else. So I was just like, okay, well, it doesn't make sense to repeat anything, especially because everybody else got flamed for, oh, you're backpedaling off someone else. So
Is there anybody that you thought also kind of like did like a third imposter job where like you're like, oh my god, if I didn't get voted out first round, I could have thrown them under the bus?
their name is WSPS now, but when we were doing the game show, it was Kitsune. I don't know. I genuinely voted them because I was like, their answer was too vague. Their answer was like boring. I don't know. It was just not. It wasn't giving.
All right, cool.
It was giving. I hold RT. I'm an RT queen.
We don't know what that is here in PC land, but I kind of get what you're putting down.
It's the healing trigger. It's the healing trigger. It's giving I hold trigger just to heal. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
So you had some susses on you for multiple rounds. I think you got voted by at least one person for almost every round, and then you eventually got voted out. Yeah, why do you think people were coming for you?
Bro, I'm just such a good Mercy hater that I swear half the responses were like, oh, that's what a Mercy hater would say. Like, I just did my job so well that people thought it was like I studied and like wrote down these, I don't know. Like, I'm just such a hater that it was like sus.
So can you give people some information on like who you actually are, like what you play, your rank, and things like that for the people who are doubting you?
I stream sometimes, like content creation I used to do a lot, like Overwatch 1, but in Overwatch 2 I started competing a lot more. I've competed in Tier 2, I've competed in Calling All Heroes, I'm a DPS player, hit scan primarily, I've hit rank 6, I was like rank 8 last season. I pretty much like only play ranked, and like all of my takes pretty much were, like for years I've always been the highest rank, like all of my takes are just high elo, so. Like, Mercy is just fundamentally not a great character. Like, she's never played in pro play. Like, there's not one scrim or match I've played in the past year that we've played Mercy. Like, the character is just not good and outclassed. And if the enemies are on it, like, it's a free win for a match or any sort of official. Like, the character is just not good. From, like, all of my takes were entirely from, like, a fundamental standpoint of the hero. Like, there's a reason it's not played. I do not like playing with the character. It's not fun. It's not good practice. Like, any scrim or any match I play in, I'm not going to be playing with Mercy. So like, obviously I'm going to prefer to play with like a good comp that I might play with sometimes that like I can apply. Like, I don't know, it's just not good practice. It's hard to win. It's not fun. They just get countered. Like, yeah.
All right. So, hi, Peyton. You were one of the final 3 contestants that didn't get voted out. You made it out to the end. However, you were so sure that there was still an imposter among you guys. Do you want to tell us a little bit about why?
So I just want to say that I was in cheer mode because I am known in the community for ChristalRaine and just for safety precautions. So the game was not easy. I was cheer mode. So I was very much suspicious of Master French from the start. I was just unsure about their answers. Even when I voted Mighty Mecha, it was between Mighty Mecha and Master French, and I just thought Mighty Mecha was the better choice of the two. And then throughout the game, I still believed it was Mighty Mecha most of the time, except for that one Orisa take that Flare Toga gave, and that just threw me off, and I just lost composure, and I got nervous, and I started to break down. I don't know what to do.
And what did you think after you found out who the actual imposter was?
I'm very relieved, and I honestly didn't think we got them round 1. I genuinely thought they slipped past round 1 and round 2. We got them round 1, which anticlimactic, but it does calm my nerves down just a little bit and helps my ego.
2 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. I play easy mode and I play to win. I love to die and I like to BRB. All systems checked out. Group up with me. 2 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. I'm here to party. GG. A giant gorilla can keep up with me. You can't be serious. I'm the queen bee. Get out of the way. I'm the MVP.